Hello, everybody. Welcome into our weekly Oracle card reading for the collective. My name is Elena, and this is Magical Readings. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so we're going to be using the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards today, and I'm going to be doing a 4-direction spread. So we're going to pull a card to the south, which represents that which you need to let go of. We're then going to pull the card to the west, which represents a part of you that needs to die. It's the old version of you that you're ready to let go of. Into the north, we have the wisdom that you need to acquire. What are the lessons of the south and the west guiding you to learn so that you can carry this wisdom going forward into the east, which represents your possible destiny, and the way you will share this wisdom, all of your knowledge, all the compassion from the lessons that you have learned with yourselves and all others. So thank you so much, my spirit guides of the love and light with angelic qualities. What does collective need to know? Thank you so much. Oracle reading for the week ahead. Just wait for the first card to fall out and then we're ready to go. I think they're all going to come. There we go. Whoop. That's a lot. Fantastic. So they want the bottom 4, they're telling me. So we have here the Luminous Warrior in the south in the reverse. In the west, we have the Hunter in the upright. In the north, we have Soul Retrieval coming in there. And in the east, we have the Sacrifice. Let's have a look now at what we need to know here. Let me just get these cards all in so you can see them all. Amazing. Okay. Wonderful energies. So let's have a look here now at the card in the south, which represents what you need to let go of. Luminous Warrior in the reverse. I'm just going to read the meaning from the book, and then I'm going to do a little bit of intuitive guidance on it. So that's number 32. Luminous Warrior. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. This is a powerful energy here. The medicine. Now, this is what you need to let go of and what needs to be shed. Are you being tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with someone? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than for war. So what needs to be shed here, what you need to let go of is obviously ego, right? It's about learning how to work through conflict with other people without letting your anger overwhelm you or overtake you or make you do actions that you will regret later with relationships that you want to keep healthy in the long term. Even if with relationships that you don't want to keep healthy in the long term, there is a gentle way to let it go, the way of the Luminous Warrior. So where do you need to let go of your anger and work out how you can manage your anger, how you can release any suppressed anger that is within you from past wounds and past experiences that are causing this anger now with whoever you're quarreling with or with whatever comes up this week in terms of arguments or conflicts. For some of you, I'm saying it could be someone who's frustrating you at work if you're getting back into work and you feel way more frustrated than the situation calls for, and you're kind of aware of that. So this is highlighting to you, where do you need to have a look at any suppressed anger that's kind of getting in your way and blowing things up out of the water that might not need to be quite so blown up. This is you taking responsibility for yourself, and you're going to be able to do it because it's come up in the cards for the light to be shone on it. Everybody's working on something, and let me tell you, we are not taught in the Western world how to manage our anger or release it either in a healthy way. So no wonder this has come up collectively as something to be shed, as something to let go of, which is basically being reactive Yeah, instead of constructive in terms of conflict and arising to the challenge to get positive outcomes rather than just battling the battle for the sense of winning the battle. We then have the hunter coming into the west. Now, this is the old you, the part of you that you need to let go of so that you can welcome the new in. And this is number 27. Let me just get this up here. Okay, the essence. Before the dawn of agriculture, we hunted in the forests to feed our kin. The hunter never takes more than what the village needs to survive, often taking only one creature, the good kill. He is a master tracker who knows which path to follow to find success. And the invitation. Rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you are in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker, find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. So that part of you that you need to let go of is the follow the leader part of you. No more are you going to just do something because somebody else suggests to you that's a good way for you to live your life. You're now stepping into the new version of you, which is co-creating with spirit, staying true to your own song, to the beat of your own drum, walking to that melody and going down your divine soul path, which is really, truly exciting. And you might find there's a little secret here in terms of managing your anger with anyone that you're quarreling with at the moment. If somebody gives you advice or wants you to do something and it doesn't resonate with you, you don't necessarily have to have a battle with them and then do what they say in a whole heap of resentment. You can let it go, choose to do you regardless, thank them for their advice, but not take it on. There's so many different dynamics here, and there's layers and layers and layers within these cards. That's why I truly love them. But no longer are you following the leader, and this is going to ease up that reactivity within you. So use your anger as a sign that is someone pressuring you to do something that you don't want to do? Where is that boundary that's been impeded? How do you need to communicate putting that boundary in place so that you can move forward on your path and hunt with spirit, co-create with spirit and divine on your own journey without them impeding it anymore? Up into the north, that wisdom that you need to acquire is soul retrieval, which is number 49. And we have here, soul retrieval is a practice that helps you recover a part of yourself, your energy, your enthusiasm, or your innocence that you have lost. At first, we'll use soul retrieval to recover from our hurts and heal our childhood wounds. This is what I feel like we were all working on in 2025. And this is what we're heading into now in 2026. Later, we learn to journey to recover our original nature. The self that never left the Garden of Eden, who still speaks to the rivers, to the trees, and to God. When we return to Eden, we are whole again. The invitation. You are no longer fragmented. You are one with creation. You have healed the cause of pain you feel, so you do not need to dwell on it any longer. Really, it is true. If you are still hovering over an old wound, find a new flight path. Don't be distracted with the little stuff you've already mastered. Go for the big one, the journey back to Eden. This is coming back into balance in 2025 with all of the completions going on with that number 9 year and the snake energy. It was really about shedding all that no longer serves you, calling back all your soul fragments. And basically, scientifically, soul fragments are when you go through something that creates trauma, that creates worry or a fear of it happening again later on, or something that, it wasn't a great experience. You can leave a little piece of your soul there. And that's what kind of causes anxiety or panic or PTSD for some people even, or things like this. when that piece of your soul is trying to come back into you so that you can become whole again, you suddenly feel all the feelings from that memory, from what happened then, because that part of your soul is slowly coming back in, and it has that memory strongly within it because it got stuck there. So in 2025, we were all working on soul retrieval in a really huge way, calling those parts of us back to us, doing our internal healing, healing our wounds, doing our soul healing. Just as this card says, the wisdom you need to acquire now, you've done that work, it's completed. You are whole again. All of your soul fragments are back, and you're back in balance, and you're working on it. Now it's time to set your sights on your bigger path of divine purpose. So when there's any little distractions that frustrate you or make you feel angry or anything like this, and you feel like people are trying to get you to do things their way instead of your way, they're all kind of like the little distractions that you kind of have risen above now. Now it's time to not sweat the small stuff and allow that bigger picture to come in. What is your purpose here? What legacy would you like to leave in this world? How would you like people to remember you? This is really where that soul path and purpose comes in. What is your divine aspirations? Why did your soul bring you here to earth? This is something, and it's a big thing to have a look at in 2026. And this is very much going to be a theme coming up this week for you. As you know, new year, new you. We come into 2026, and with every New Year's, you can have this kind of moment where you're like, how can I do things differently this year? What's my purpose? What's my path? You can start thinking of those bigger aspects. And this is definitely the wisdom that you need to acquire. You are completely whole, just as you are now. All of that hard work in 2025 was totally worth it. And now you can look at that bigger picture, your bigger path, your bigger purpose, which is to make it basic. How can you bring peace, joy, and happiness to your life and other people's with ease and grace? How can you bring peace, joy, and happiness to these people that frustrate and frustrate you and make you angry without doing things their way still? How can you communicate that? Because where there's a will, there is a way. And I promise that's with co-creation, with spirit. And to the east, we have the sacrifice. And the east was the possible destiny. So the possible outcome here for you. So this is number 44. So the essence of the sacrifice. To sacrifice means to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart, a feast of love prepared for spirit. In olden days, sacrifice sometimes involved rituals in which blood was offered to the gods. For example, in the Bible, I can't pronounce that, Yahweh, Yahweh, preferred Abel's sacrifice of one of his lambs to Cain's offerings of vegetables and fruits. In Middle America, however, oh gosh, they're giving me the fun names, Quetzalcoatl, wow, the Lord of the Dawn, came to teach that spirit preferred our songs and our prayers to the blood of humans or animals. The invitation. The sacrifice asks that you offer to spirit that which is most precious to you. Let me start that again. The sacrifice asks that you offer to spirit that which is most precious to you. Your offering will be sanctified and returned tenfold. You will be elevated to the altar at which you have been praying and meet divine at the table with the heavenly feast. You are a welcome guest in this banquet. Your heart is the only worthy offering you can bring. Life has been generous with you in so many ways. So spirit, your guides, God, your higher power is asking you to offer them your love. And then your love is going to be returned to you times 10. What you sacrifice will actually be returned to you. So this is kind of like very much, to me, that's very much like kind of karma, like what you reap is what you sow, what you give is what you end up receiving. And it's not necessarily you're nice to someone, then they're nice back to you. That might not actually be the case, but it's kind of paid forward. And you know, in lifetimes to come or later on in this life, someone else will give you a good turn. This is all about what you're giving to the world in terms of that peace, happiness, and joy. and then watch it return to you times 10. Because whatever you give out to the world, you will receive back to you. So keeping that in mind, how can you make this world brighter, lighter, and more happy and more joyful? You know, just like you, a lot of people might be getting back into their everyday. They might be returning from holidays. People might be getting back into work, and they might just be feeling a little bit heavy, like, oh, holiday season is over. So can you go in and be around your community and be that bright kind of shining light, welcoming them in, being happy to see them, and reminding them that every day is supposed to be an absolute joy. Now, this can be very hard to do if there's someone frustrating the bejesus out of you that's coming around you, but that's the old you that used to be affected by that. So do remember that and do acquire this wisdom. You have called back the fragments of your soul that used to get affected by this, and you've healed from the past, which was probably from a past life or during childhood. Whatever reason this person triggers you so much, it could have been from something that happened in the past. That's kind of how trauma works. So because you've called that soul fragment back to you now, because you healed that in the year 2025, you're going to be able to amplify this, shift this person now from being an enemy into an ally, because you are not affected by them anymore. And in fact, they're going to be affected by you, your beautiful, loving vibration. That's going to create more peace around you, and you will receive so much peace, happiness, and joy back. So it looks like this week ahead is going to be a really big one, soul searching, realizing how much you have learned in 2025 and how much more ease you can handle any sort of conflicts in your life, how much more ease and grace you handle when you feel frustrated or angry, what you do to manage that and healthily release that, so that you can have more peace, happiness, and joy in your everyday and welcome it into everybody around you as well. You are one who can definitely turn an enemy into an ally this week. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. That completes your weekly oracle. That was our Mystical Shaman deck. Thank you for liking this video and subscribing to follow along for more. My name is Elena, and this is Mystical Magical Readings.